this idea of us comparing, and I'm bringing up the example of marriage, but it's not reduced to marriage. It's actually in all walks of life. And everything that we do, if there's something in our head which is making us compare ourselves to someone else and establish some sort of superiority. For some people, they're obsessed with their appearance. And so when they see someone else with lesser appearance, then immediately they size them up. Well, I'm a 9, they're more like a 4. So they don't really add up. And then this idea of constant comparison, then it starts shaping your thoughts and what you do with your life. And what your priorities are. All of that changes because now Shaitan has been able to successfully make you obsessed with comparison. That thing that was so powerful that even obeying Allah disappeared because he's too consumed with that comparison. Even when Allah spoke to him directly and said, "What prevented you? Explain yourself. Allah tasjuda idh amartuk." That you wouldn't do sajda when I commanded you. And he's so consumed with that, instead of apologizing, instead of recognizing that he's disobeyed Allah, he's still so consumed with that comparison. I am better than him. You made me from fire. You made him from clay. Even though he recognizes Allah made. He says, "Well, you made, but you must have made me better. Clearly I'm better." And by the way, some people get this disease. And this disease afflicts Muslims. According to a lesson in Surah Al-Kahf, this particular disease I'm about to mention to you afflicts Muslims. Some people in their head have, if Allah has given you more, that must mean He loves you more. If Allah gave you better looks, if Allah gave you money, if Allah gave you fame, if Allah gave you knowledge, if Allah gave you ability that He didn't give other people. Some children some men and women have an ability, for example, to memorize the Quran. Other people don't. Other people, no matter how hard they try, they can't do it. But the one who has the ability to memorize and the one who doesn't starts thinking to themselves, Allah must think I'm better. That's why He gave me that talent. That's why He gave me that skill. Allah must think that I'm somehow more worthy of the success I have in business. He must think I'm more worthy because He made me look this way. My siblings don't look this way. So He must think I'm more worthy. So now you start assuming that Allah Himself declared that you're better. That you are somehow superior because of what you've been given in this life. And people who have that in their head, just remind yourselves what happened to the gardener in Surah Al-Kahf. Allah takes it all away just to remind you, you're not special. You're just being given a gift. And as a matter of fact, these things that we think make us better than others, for example, I'll give you 2 examples, strength and beauty, for example. Strength and beauty are something that can be God-given. You may not have any control over it. And yet, these 2 things that we consider a blessing, you find in the stories of Yusuf alayhi salam and Musa alayhi salam, those 2 things are the things that got them in trouble. What you thought was a blessing actually turns into your biggest trial. Right? So just because Allah gave you something, gave you a gift, it doesn't make you better than anybody else. But then there's even a further step. And that further step is, you and I are actually supposed to compare each other. There is a level of, in our deen, وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. People are supposed to compete with each other. It is supposed to happen. And competition is actually a natural thing. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't succeed in your business if you didn't compete. It just wouldn't happen. If your pizza place is not better than the other guy, you're not going to get customers. So you have to compete with others. If you're not the best at whatever job you're applying for, you're not going to get the job. You have to compete with others. So on the one hand, there's a kind of comparison that's condemned, that's being like the devil. And then on the other hand, Allah naturally made comparison a part of life. So what kind of comparison and what kind of competition is okay and what kind of competition is not okay? When you and I compete based on effort, and that's the key thing, when you and I compete based on effort, not to establish I'm more superior, I'm better, or I'm whatever, but actually just for yourself, to do your very best, you're competing. And your ultimate comparison and your ultimate competition is actually against your own self, not with anybody else. You don't even concern yourself with anybody else. Those of you that own businesses, if you want to have a Quran mindset in your business, other people that don't have a Quran mindset, they say, what's our competitor doing? What are they selling? What are they working on? When's their sale happening? Let's do our sale one day before their sale. You're always thinking about your competitor and what they're doing, and then you make your decisions. But if you have the right product, if you know that you're doing your very best, and you know you're the best at something, You don't look at the competition. You just do what you do. You're just consumed within yourself. And this is actually what Allah Azza wa Jal describes in Surah An-Nisa. وَلَا تَتَمَنَّوْا مَا فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بِهِ بَعْضَكُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ. Don't wish for what Allah has given as a preference to some over others. Some people have an advantage. Their business might be in a better location. They might have a better financial advantage. They might have some other things. That's fine. You focus on what you need to focus on. You know the crazy thing about this unhealthy comparison? This unhealthy comparison can make its way not just in business, not just in family life or marital relations and things like that. It can even make its way into religious matters. You can have in one city a couple of masajid, and one masjid had a program, and they're like, oh, we have to do a bigger program. They had a fundraiser. They raised how much? Oh, we gotta raise more than them. We gotta beat them. How are they expanding before we're expanding? You better go attend their fundraiser, find out who attended their fundraiser, because we need to make those guys calls so that next time before they attend theirs, they attend ours, and they write their checks so they have no more checks to write. This is happening even when you're serving supposedly Allah's deen. When a masjid is being built, when some Islamic work is being done, and you're doing your work and they're doing their work, is that competition? Back in the day, I remember when I was in college, I used to be part of the MSA. And even MSA, Muslim Students Association, you're supposed to do some Islamic activities, do some da'wah event, something. And they're like, hey, what's that college doing? Oh my God, their event was way bigger than ours. We got to crush them next time. This idea of ana khayrun minhu, competition for good causes is actually healthy. Not to beat someone else, but to actually, when you see someone else do something good, it inspires you and you say, I want to do even better. I want to do better than I did before. Not better than them, better than what I did. That's the key. When you see someone else successful, you don't say, I'm going to beat that guy one day. You're going to say, he must have put a lot of work in to get where he got, or she must have put a lot of work in to get where she got. I'm going to put work in and see how far I can get. You compare yourself to yourself. You compare yourself to yourself from yesterday. That is actually the road to progress ahead, instead of consuming yourself with somebody else.